Before we get into the main topic of this video, I just want to ask, is this the Impossible Challenge or the Ted Ginn Show? Because first play of the game, Ted Ginn Jr. against Stanford, and the Impossible Challenge, yeah, Stanford meet Ted Ginn Jr., Ted Ginn Jr. meet Stanford. So as Ted Ginn actually runs into the end zone, we're going to go ahead and get into what we're going to actually talk about, and that is the new ESPN Elites that are going to be released into the game within the next couple of days. First up on the list of the new cards going to be released into the game is Troy Smith. Many of you remember him playing for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He won the Heisman Trophy back in 2006. Unfortunately, couldn't win the big game against the Florida Gators, national championship game, and that's the reason why he didn't really get drafted too high. Combined with his size at 6 foot and only being 225 pounds, I guess teams just didn't really want him, and they were kind of nervous that he couldn't win the big game when he was too small. So he didn't really pan out in the NFL, but different story in college. Heisman Trophy in 2006, like I said, All-American in 2006. And his ratings really do reflect how good he was in college. At 96 overall with 92 speed. To go along with that, we have a 94 agility rating with 90 acceleration. So right off the bat, you know he's a very good scrambling quarterback in the game. Going to be running a lot of read option with him if you get him. Definitely I will for sure as well. 88 awareness doesn't really matter. You're going to be controlling him. 86 break tackle is very good for a quarterback. 54 trucking makes sense for a guy that's 6 foot. Elusiveness at 86. Ball carrier vision at 86. Stiff arm at 69. Spin move at 84. Juke at 88. Carrying at 82. And he has some decent catch ratings if you want to run some like I don't know, some trick plays if they have them in the game. Throw power is at 91. I think this should be a little bit higher, but unfortunately, they actually rated him only at 91. And 86 throw accuracy, that's a little bit low too. But my theory is this is just the beginning of Troy Smith in the game. I'm sure we're going to see a Heisman winner, Troy Smith, in the future. Or I should say Heisman hopeful that will become a Heisman winner. And I think he'll actually be a lot better than this. So this is going to be kind of your alternative to Michael Vick. If you want a right-handed quarterback instead of left, and you want a little less speedy but a little bit more accurate quarterback, I'd go with Troy Smith. I'm a right-hand quarterback guy, and of course I have favoritism towards Troy Smith and Vince Young, so I'd probably go with one of those over Michael Vick. And I do believe this card right here will actually be not too expensive, so you'll be able to get him off the bat. But once they actually take them out of packs and you have one, I'd keep him for a little bit because he's going to be rare. Next up is Warrick Dunn. Many of you will remember him playing for the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but not many will remember him playing for Florida State. Actually, I had to look all this up. He was first team All-ACC 3 years running. He was the Rookie of the Year in 1997 in the NFL. And like I said, if you remember back in the day playing for the Falcons and the Bucs, he was a very, very solid running back, very speedy, very shifty. And he compiled over 10,000 yards in the NFL, which is pretty hard to do for a guy. So Warrick Dunn, being 5'9", 190 pounds. He's a very, very shifty back. I would actually compare him to the Darren Sproles playoff card from Mutt last year at 95 speed and 91 agility to go along with his 95 acceleration. Like I said, he's going to be very, very quick. He's going to get away from those heat seeker tackles. 85 break tackle for a small back is amazing. 69 trucking is pretty decent, I must say, for Warrick Dunn. 95 elusiveness is definitely epic. 89 ball carrier vision, no one cares about that because you're going to be the one doing the ball carrying. 77 stiff arm, 94 spin, and 93 juke. Makes him, like I said, very elusive down the field. 87 carrying, 84 catching, which is amazing for a running back in this game. The ability to not only run the ball with him, but pass the ball too. You can keep him in third down situations, and you won't miss a beat. That's pretty much it for him. He has some decent route running at a running back position, which is decent, and actually it's actually better than decent. It's pretty goddamn good. Being able to catch the ball as a running back is second dimension for running back. Some can't do that, as you can see here. You look down at Beanie Wells with his 68, and he's useless receiving the ball. So Warrick Dunn should be a very expensive card, and if you get your hands on it, play with him a couple games, then I would suggest just getting rid of him, because if you want to make some coins, you're not going to make the coins by just holding on to him. You can find some better running backs down the line for less money, I do believe. Right now, every new card that comes out seems like it's super expensive, and it's just not worth holding on to. So next up is Orlando Pace. This is another one of my favorite players of all time. Played for the Ohio State Buckeyes, of course. All-American in 95 and 96. He was the NCAA football all-century team first pick, basically. They picked him first out of all the players, saying that he would anchor that team at the left tackle position. 7-time Pro Bowler, all the way from 99 to 2005, didn't miss a year, and then a 5-time All-Pro. Also, he was in the all-decade team of the 2000s in the NFL. Again, they said just best player they've ever seen at the left tackle position. So Orlando Pace is just amazing, and he definitely has the ratings to prove that in this game. At 96 overall and 94 strength, that's not even the beginning. He has 91 acceleration, so he could come out and pull for your running back, and he'll just be a beast. At 6'7", 325 pounds, he is just amazing. 95 awareness. He's not letting anyone get around him at all. And then we'll go ahead and go to his actual blocking ratings, and we'll see that he has 96 pass block with 90 run block, a very solid run block, and a very elite pass block rating with 97 impact blocking. So he's going to flatten some people on his way, leading the way for your running back. So maybe if you're using Warrick Dunn and you have Orlando Pace pulling for you and he's out there, he's going to knock down at least 2 or 3 people before he's done, and you're going to take it all the way for 6. So Orlando Pace should be in a very expensive card. There is a lot of good left tackles in the game, but I don't think they match up to Orlando Pace. So definitely he's going to be a great card to get. And then last but not least, I don't know if this is going to be all the ESPN leads for the week, but all the ones that are on this team that are new. Next up is Chris Claiborne. I had really no idea who this was. I had to look him up. And apparently he was a first-team All-American. He was USC's first and only Butkus Award winner. And he played for such teams as the Lions, Vikings, Rams, Giants, and Jags in the NFL. He was a pretty decent starter, but he was never like an elite player, and his ratings kind of reflect that. 87 speed is very good for a linebacker, but his other ratings are average at best. At 84 strength, 83 agility, 83 excel, 91 awareness. Moving on, doesn't have very good elusiveness at all. If you get your hands on the ball with him on a pick, you're not going to be doing a lot with it. Probably just going to have to fall over. Not very good ball carrier vision, which doesn't really matter at all unless you let the computer run the ball for you on picks. Moving on, I guess we'll go to his tackling. 94 tackling is very solid, but there's way better linebackers than that in the game that are higher than 94. Also, 89 hit power is decent, but when you got people like Ray Lewis with their 95s and 96s and shit like that, he doesn't really match up to them at all. And 92 block shedding for a middle linebacker is pretty good, but I don't know if you could actually have any plays where he'll actually be on the line or anything like that. I mean, I guess you could blitz him, and he may be able to block shed and get to the quarterback, but I don't really see that a lot of people doing that, so it's not really needed at 92 block shed, but it's pretty decent. 89 pursuit and 88 play rec. Like I said, he's very average all around the board. As you see down here, a basic gold player, Dan Connor, is actually 92 and 94 at the same positions, or the same attributes, and like I said, he's not a very good player. He's fairly average around the board, has a high overall, but everything else really isn't that great. As you see here, his coverage ability is terrible. Dan Connor, again, beats him out on that. But I don't really want to get into too much detail about a gold player being better than an ESPN Elite. I just think it's a little bit silly that they're going to add this into the game and call it an elite player. Anyways, hopefully you guys can get your hands on these cards, because I'm definitely going to be trying to do that this weekend. Next in-fight video will probably be a head-to-head season. I bought an elite Calvin Johnson, and I'm going to try to get an elite Vince Young if it's going to be lowered in price a little bit by the time this video is up and I actually want to play a game. I definitely need to upgrade my quarterback. I love Andre Ware, but with Vince Young out there, I definitely got to get my hands on that. So, like I said, in-fight videos back in full force. Got this little update video for you guys, getting ready for the weekend, new ESPN Elites, and I shall see you guys later.